Welcome back to the stash. It's been another 2 weeks and that can only mean one thing. The new issue of Amazing Spider-Man is out now, the issue 29. We're up to 29 issues somehow. How hasn't this been cancelled? Now, in case you have missed the previous uploads, then basically Doc Ock is back in his own, villain ways. He can never sort of grow this character. Just like Spider-Man, they're both stuck in this sort of loop forever. And he basically just wants to get revenge on Norman Osborn for memories that he's not even supposed to have anymore if you've read the Superior Spider-Man run, which the writer of this book clearly hasn't because, well, he clearly doesn't care. And before we get into the nitty-gritty stuff of this issue, be sure to like and subscribe for more comic content on the way. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. So, this book starts off with Spider-Man in the air and, well then, Jameson's there with him somehow. Well, that's right, he is now controlling the old tentacles from Doc Ock as he's clearly abandoned them, and the previous issue did show that Jameson sort of grew fond of them. He sort of views them as a pet now, which is a bit weird, but then they recreate the Amazing Fantasy issue 15 cover because, well, that hasn't been done to death already, has it? Our scene then cuts to the lair of Dr. Octopus where he's forcing Norman Osborn to relive his memories which he has forgotten. Now, you might be wondering that sentence makes zero sense, but Doc Ock has this sort of, it looks like a cerebral helmet, but it's not, which sort of helps, remember the past, even if you're not supposed to. It's confusing. It's a bad story. Who cares? Let's just get this over with. So basically, this is like an entire revenge scheme by Doc Ock. He wants like Norman to be his bitch, basically, just shouting at him, "Say it is you who are shamed." And then Norman goes, "Yeah, it is I who are shamed." And he says, "I appreciate your honesty, and now we can really get to work." Back at the apartment, we can see Peter trying to think of a plan. Then all of a sudden, the tentacles supposedly attack Peter. However, then it is discovered that they want to actually bond with him. Next up is probably the most useless 2 pages in the entire comic book. So we see this woman, a dog walker, who was webbed up by what is supposedly Spider-Man, left for the police. However, she's completely innocent. But then we see it's not Spider-Man, it's Rec Rap, and he's back because this is Zeb Wells' most proudest creation. He loves Rec Rap. He's trying to force it to be like, like Darkhawk in the 90s when like they were really forcing Darkhawk on every sort of title they could because they thought he was going to be the next big thing, and he just sort of failed, even though I thought Darkhawk was pretty alright. Anyway, stop. Zeb Wells, just stop. No one gives a shit about Rec Rap. What is wrong with this guy?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I mean, considering that this is counted as an original creation and they're so proud of it, it shows the state of Marvel Comics. Not just Marvel, basically comics in general, but wow. This is how low we've gone. This is sad. Now we get another scene cut back to the apartment. We see that Peter has decided to bond with the other tentacles and attach them to his spinal cord. So that's great. That won't backfire at all, would it? Then all of a sudden, Doc Ock is now torturing Norman Osborn by beating him to a bloody pulp. And that basically goes on for a little bit. Nothing really happens in this issue, to be honest. It's a lot of nothing. Like there's a lot of dead air between the key sort of moments. So it's pretty boring. And when we go back to Oscorp, we see that Spider-Man has gone into Norman's sort of secret area and enhanced the tentacles, made them red and match his suit. So it looks cool, I guess. Or is this just synergy for the new game coming out? Because I know that he's going to have the similar tentacles into that one. But then, ladies and gentlemen, we end with the best cliffhanger you'll ever see. I would have never seen this coming. I swear to God. Doc Ock injects Norman with the serum to make him Green Goblin again. Oh my God. Zeb Wells, you are a genius.
Not.
And that is how we conclude issue 26 of The Amazing Spider-Man. And, well, this is actually such a pathetic run that it's honestly funny in that regard. I mean, what can I say? This whole thing, it's just so bad. I hate every single decision the writing and editorial team have made on this run. There's been nothing good in this entire run. I can't stand the fact that Rec Rap is back right after they said that there was no room for Ben Reilly in Spidey comics. How the hell is there room for Rec Rap but not Ben Reilly? It's like Zeb Wells and Lowe had taken Marvel hostage and are forcing them to just give all their attention to these shocking, original creations instead of characters we all know and love from the past. And another thing, first it was the Vulture and now Dr. Octopus. Why does Spider-Man suddenly need all of this technology to defeat villains he has taken down hundreds of times in the past? They have seriously nerfed Spider-Man in this entire run, making him almost a bitch to nearly every villain he tries to fight. And please, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure in Red Goblin, they said that overusing the Goblin serum made Norman generate the stuff, so much so that he could supply an army with it without killing him. So logically, him being injected shouldn't do anything. It's like throwing water into the sea. But that, of course, would require the logic. That logic is a factor of anything in this run, and, well, we know that ain't the truth, so... And also, they mentioned Otto stealing from Beyond. You know, that comic where despite being there to steal something, he still went out of his way to help Spider-Man and keep innocents out of harm's way. Why would they connect to that? Are they highlighting his character assassination on purpose?
Not a great plan.
And why is one of the smartest men in the planet reduced to a bumbling buffoon who repeats things he is told but in question? How did he even win exactly? I mean, way to ruin one of the best supervillains in Spider-Man history. Why? Just why? Why does editorial hate Spider-Man? Why do they want Spider-Man to revert into an insufferable man-child that everyone hates? Well, actually, I think I do know. It's because the writers and editors at Marvel themselves are insufferable man-children. However, I think they should just maybe go to therapy like normal people instead of airing it out in the comic books that they expect us to pay for. This entire comic run, it's just burning me out, and it just keeps getting worse and worse than before. And you want more bad news? Well, Mary Jane has suddenly disappeared from this book, and thank God Paul has too, but now she's become a new superhero named Jackpot. Wow, everyone at Marvel, great way to show that you don't even understand the character of Mary Jane Watson at all. Hang on, wasn't there already a Jackpot? That doesn't matter. And Zeb Wells doesn't care, so why should I? Comics need people that are not superpowered as well, and I wish that the editorial would get that. Not everyone needs to be a superhero. I mean, Jimmy Olsen usually doesn't have powers, but he is still a great Superman character. And guess what? Mary Jane in the 90s and even in the early 2000s was one of the best characters in Spider-Man comics, and she didn't even have any powers. All that required was just good writing from a good editorial team, but well, that'd be too hard for this one, wouldn't it? After each issue that comes out, all it does is just prove to us that this writing team doesn't care. Marvel doesn't care. And we're stuck with one of the worst editorials in history. Seriously, this is the worst run Spider-Man has ever had. Zeb Wells is a terrible, terrible writer. I don't care what he's done before this. There is no excusing this. He doesn't even do the most standard procedure of just doing research before writing a book. He does nothing. And I even heard a criticism of Nick Spencer's Spider-Man run, saying that basically his entire run was actually pretty bad due to the fact that he was trying to fix majority of the major blunders in the Spider-Man universe, and saying that he didn't really create anything new. He didn't really try to reinvent the wheel. To that I have to say, well, he was the man that had to try and do the dirty work of fixing everything. And in that sense, I appreciate what Nick Spencer was trying to do, and he almost got there. He retconned Sins Past, or whatever that horrible storyline was with Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn. He was on the verge of retconning One More Day. Someone had to do it, and he was doing it. And the difference between me and someone like Godzilla Mendoza's who said that sort of stuff is, well, I'm not trying to please the higher-ups in Marvel and trying to fit in with a certain crowd just so I can get special benefits. If you were a true Spider-Man fan, then you are sick of this bullshit, just like I am. But that is it for today. If you have enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because any support means so much. I'd love to know what you guys thought of this recent issue down below. We can start a conversation. That being said, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.